see you again. The time, 25 to 8. Let's bring you up to date with the front pages of your newspapers. Daily Mail, first of all.
It's revealing the health service spends £400,000 a day on private ambulances and taxis for patients.
The Mirror leads with the missing mum, Nicola Bulley. Images taken by a doorbell camera at her home are released. 1 hour later, she vanished, says the headline.
The Times go with delusional Truss, who they say will cost votes as Sunak's allies hit out at the former Prime Minister's plotting a return.
The Star weather story. The beast from the east will return, which will leave Britain colder than the Arctic.
OK, we're going through the papers joined this morning by former editor of the Daily Star, Dawn Neeson, and broadcaster and podcast host Sean McDonald. Welcome back to both of you. Dawn, can we start with you? A story in the Star, as we were discussing it there, talking about the cost of policing so-called Tarquin protests.
Yeah, I mean, this is the Daily Star have always referred to the eco-protesters as Tarquins, because many of them probably are called Tarquin, and that's just the women. But this is actually a serious story, and they've actually found out that the Just Stop Oil protests in London have actually cost taxpayers £7.5 million in just 9 weeks. This is latest figures from the Metropolitan Police reveal the huge amount of money it costs the police to just turn up and monitor them, because they didn't actually do anything, did they? They just made the cups of tea and looked at what they were doing. Didn't actually arrest anyone. And it was like 13,600 officer shifts were used from October the 1st to November the 14th, and between November the 28th and December the 14th. And this is, as we all know, the people that were climbing gantries over motorways and gluing themselves to roads and chucking paint at buildings, etc., etc. Now, look, it's all very well if the police had turned up and done something, which they just said they didn't, and if the Met Police weren't in such a dire state in any case. I mean, you know, arrest rates for, in particular, sex offences are through the floor, convictions are through the floor, and we're wasting time and money to have the police standing around watching people gluing themselves to bits of tarmac. Yeah. It's just hideous waste of money. It's very annoying. And
interesting to get a figure on it as well.
Absolutely, and a frighteningly high one.
The mind. Yeah.
Matt, turning on the telly last night, there are two stories, I suppose. There was Happy Valley, which we'll come to later on BBC, and then there was the former Health Secretary, Matt Hancock, front row of Dancing on Ice on ITV. Why does Matt Hancock think he's a celebrity or a personality, or that anybody's remotely interested in watching him?
I'm absolutely convinced that Matt Hancock has got incriminating images of somebody at ITV, or he's got something over people, because why is he there? The guy's a personality vacuum. I called him a wet lettuce before. I did have to laugh. He was sitting beside Paul Chuckle of the Chuckle Brothers. And so now Paul Chuckle from the Chuckle Brothers was still more serious than Matt Hancock. He's the least serious guy in there. I cannot understand it. It's very frustrating. I think I would once again like to circle back that this guy was the health secretary that presided over absolute chaos, that broke his own rules, and we're sitting letting this wee guy just swan about as if he's part of the reality TV set.
Is it a new syndrome within the Conservative Party that once you leave office, you kind of come back to haunt? No one has any sort of humility anymore.
I actually thought the scariest thing I would see on telly last night was Tommy Lee Royce's behaviour in Happy Valley. And then I happened to catch Matt Hancock on Dancing on Ice. And it was just like, and what, his dressing room is like some sort of weird teenager.
Completely robotic.
But you see, people talk about, oh, he took money and he appeared on I'm a Celebrity. He took, what was it, 320,000 quid or so, they're saying. But ITV never comes in for the criticism, which they should get, because they offered the money.
Absolutely.
And yet they escape all the criticism.
Absolutely. I think ITV do deserve a lot of criticism. It's showing complete contempt for the British electorate, the British public, the way that this guy just absolutely extracted the proverbial out of everybody. And so ITV say, no, it's okay, we're just going to put him on TV now. So you're showing deliberate contempt for the people up and down Britain, people who couldn't attend funerals, people that lost loved ones, people that couldn't even meet a pal for a beer for such a long time. And what we're supposed to go, okay, ITV says it's fine, don't think so.
But I do think I can understand the logic and TV executives' point of view of putting him on something like I'm a Celebrity, because people wanted to punish him, didn't they? So it got the ratings and it got the votes. But why would you stick him in the audience, and not only that, like go and talk to him during an ice skating competition?
Yeah.
don't.
Well, you see, there's the Ed Balls model, where Ed Balls was, what was he, Shadow Chancellor at one stage, and very credible politician, and his wife was in the Shadow Cabinet.
Still is, yeah.
And, you know, and he's done incredibly well over a number of programmes. But if Matt Hancock thinks he's Ed Balls, there's another thing coming here. I just don't think there's the likability.
I actually disagree with Sean on the ITV thing, because I think it's like, you know, if I was running a TV company and I wanted to get eyeballs, I would employ Matt Hancock. And in ITV's defence, Matt Hancock did say he was actually...
ITV is the cancel culture, the woke station of all of them.
Absolutely.
And they're the ones who then offer this man 300,000 quid to come on a programme. I agree with everything that Sean said.
He did say, Matt Hancock did say he was going to give it to charity and mentioned dyslexia. He mentioned dyslexia twice, and he gave like 10 grand to charity and kept the rest himself. But he also protested he wasn't doing it for the money. Well, in which case, give all of them.
Yeah, can we also just point out the man is currently a serving politician?
Oh God, yeah.
And if he's incumbent to his constituents. You know, he should be doing his job. He shouldn't be in the limelight. He shouldn't have been dancing on ice. I would love to know how many surgeries he's had in the past 6 months, let's say, since he's been doing his TV work.
Maybe our viewers or listeners are from his constituency. Let us know your thoughts on that this morning. Should we talk now, Dawn, about terminology?
This is in the Telegraph.
Harsh terminology.
Yes, this is in our...
Do you want the Telegraph? Do you need the Telegraph?
No,
there you go, page 9.
I've got it in front of me. I did have my glasses.
There you go.
It's middle-aged. Right, okay. This is a lady called Anna Taylor. She's a communications director, and she has issued a guide, Evolving from Violent Language, okay, and she thinks we should start not using idioms like jump the gun, roll with the punches, stop, killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Cancel Delilah at the Welsh rugby, you know.
Eamonn's job. Killing 2 birds with 1 stone should become feeding 2 birds with 1 scone. Because obviously, as we all know, that if you ever use that phrase, you become some sort of mad serial killer or attacks people, because it's the language that makes you do that. I mean, it's just insane. Just make it stop.
There's one that they put in that says, don't say jump the gun, say something else, and I think it's saying it's suggesting violence, but that actually originates from the starting gun and going too early. So it's not even related to violence anyway.
The word gun.
Yeah, exactly. I think you could be very analytical about these things. We could sit and debate it back and forth and talk about it, or we could just say, shut up, mate, and move on. Yeah. That's what I'm going to go for.
It's like people, I could often use the word hate. Oh, I hate cinnamon, or I hate that programme, or whatever. And people often go, hate's a very strong word. I don't hate anything. I hate lots of things. I just want to put it on record. And lots of people. I have no difficulty hating. If I want to hate, am I not allowed to hate?
I mean, you can do it as well within your rights.
It's not good for you, though, Eamonn, just saying.
It's lovely. It's really good.
Not good for you.
It's good to get it out rather than internalise it. Present company accepted, though, Eamonn, obviously.
No, I think people have the right to hate and the right to...
He didn't deny that, did he, actually?
No.
No. Should we talk about apprenticeships? This is also in the Telegraph, Sean, front page, and I know Labour want to talk about it this morning. Better value than a degree.
Yes, I just have to find it footing about with my fiddly...
It's not my middle-aged guy.
What's going on,
Where are we? I know. I had it because I was moving to look.
We didn't want to start with the one on the list.
This is something from John Glenn. He's the Chief Secretary to the Treasury, and he's basically encouraging, I mean, quite interesting language, but middle-class parents should encourage their children to do apprenticeships instead of going to university, and that they can offer a fantastic return on investment. Quite interesting that he's looking at kids as an asset that has to be invested in. But I do agree. I think there is a really good point here. University is not for everybody. I didn't go to university. I wasn't particularly academic, although I don't think I'm lacking in completely lacking intelligence. But there are
not thick.
Not thick. There are different ways, I think, to do things. I think it's good, you know, to encourage people that there are different ways to learn and to do well. I've got a pal right now, Guy Jamie, who went and did a degree, didn't use it. He did an apprenticeship and he now surveys the world's oceans.
And
very interesting.
Saddle yourself with £40,000 worth of debt.
Yeah, I know. So there are different ways to do things, and I think it's a very positive thing. Encourage people to pursue other things other than academia.
Encourage people to grow up more quickly. I do think university plays a role in keeping people almost like children I do think the longer you're in education, the longer it takes for you to have to pay your own, pay your own way, effectively. And I speak for myself. I just was an oversized child when I was going into the world of work at 23 or whatever it was, because I'd done a degree and then a postgrad, and it came as a bit of a shock when I had to grow up.
You learn how
I do think there's a lot to be said about
you learn how to
earning
deal with
while you
people
learn.
as well, don't you?
Say again?
You learn how to deal with people and just how to sort of interact in the real world.
Absolutely.
Well, lovely. Thanks for all those thoughts, guys. With the time now at 7:45, we say goodbye to Dawn and Sean. They're back in 45 minutes' time.